Give us a minute. I think it's coming. Okay. Takes a while to actually launch. All right.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see live on YouTube and they came up here.
We got it. We got it. Takes a while to actually launch. Let me get rid of that. Let me make sure it's on. Hold on. What's not showing up? Yeah, we got it. Okay. Right on. All right. Peace, YouTube. Peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is FleurBrun coming today with another amazing promo for our special guest. Rod Hayes is in the house. Hey, Rod.
Yeah, hey.
How you
How you
doing?
doing? I'm good. I'm good.
You
How
smiling.
you
We
doing?
in some interesting times. You gotta smile like this is what you've been waiting for.
Yeah, we got to turn it.
Here today with another. I know it's backlight.
Yeah, that was me.
That's okay.
Because I was trying to see the chat
Yes.
on. So what's
And now,
going on? What
what
we on today?
we going into the Civil War that's coming on, Rod, and we're going to talk about the coup d'etat, which is I think is really just smoke and mirrors. We're going to talk about what's happening in Venezuela. We're going to talk about what's happening in America and Minnesota, how it's affecting us. We're going to talk about is the I don't like to say his name, the emperor, the Orange Emperor. Is it really him or is he an imposter playing as him? We're going to talk about that. And then we'll find out later as an extra if Rod Hayes has been abducted by aliens ever in his life. We'll leave that for later. You know what I mean? So, hey, Rod, thank you again for coming on. I was going to get you last minute, but thank you. I appreciate you coming on.
No
Um,
problem, no problem.
so we are seeing or witnessing, right, a shift and a change in the dynamics of the United States. We're starting to see an expansion happening, whether we want it or not, by the president extending his power into Venezuela. Can you kind of, I don't want to make an assumption because I wanted to hear your opinion about what's happening, what you think is the reason the president was extracted in Venezuela.
Well, I think he had paperwork that identified political figures of high prominence in America that was participants and owners of um, drug trafficking organizations. It's the continuation of the Iran-Contra. Remember when they see the precedent for taking the head of state and arresting them was Manuel Noriega. That
Yeah,
set a precedent.
yeah.
It's the first time ever since the Geneva Convention that the head of state was captured. Now, most of us don't know Manuel Noriega went to trial in Florida. His trial was classified top secret by the old man Bush.
Mm,
Let that sink in for a minute, because he was a co-defendant in Iran-Contra.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the reason why they went down there. Manuel Noriega knew the whole rundown of the Iran-Contra affair. Remember, he was in Nicaragua.
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
was using Nicaragua to bring money from South America from drug
Mm-hmm.
sales
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
buy guns from the U.S. military to sell to Iran.
Yes, it's a cover. That's
And
why.
then they turned
Yeah.
around and sold the guns to the Contras for drugs,
Oh,
right? So they got caught. They got caught because of a reporter out of Los Angeles who was investigating. Actually, he was a detective, and he was investigating how was this much drugs getting into Los Angeles. It was like tons. Most of us don't remember this. A movie came out that was produced by Melvin Van Peebles, and Mario Van Peebles was in the movie as one of the Black Panthers in the movie Black Panther.
yes, yes, yeah,
When you
yeah,
get to the end of the movie, the Panthers are breaking up, and the character that's being played by Kadeem Hardison, I
yes.
think he was playing Bobby Seale, but he was saying that these people bringing these drugs in and they showed the warehouse full of drugs. He said, that's going to be our biggest fight.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
right? Okay, now this is what was actually taking place in LA. Now, while they getting caught in Iran-Contra, they using the DEA
Hmm.
and the CIA to put boots on the ground to make the connections to the farmers to grow massive amounts of the coca leaf, where we get cocaine from,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Now, this is under George Herbert Walker Bush, Ronald Reagan is the president, Oliver North and Poindexter are members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They was the ones who was all brought up to be impeached in Congress for Iran-Contra. The only one that I know of that suffered a penalty was Oliver North. He got 1 year probation
That's
and
right.
1 day suspended sentence in jail.
He didn't get that much time. Yeah. He copped the deal.
1 day suspended sentence in jail, meaning no jail time.
Wow.
Okay, now, why is this important? Because these was the biggest drug dealers in American history.
Hmm.
Now, look at Freeway Ricky Ross. Freeway Ricky Ross Connect was a DEA agent. Let that sink in. He don't know he a DEA agent. Ricky Ross don't know this. So he's getting the drugs directly from the Contras by way of DEA, CIA connections that he don't even know is boots on the ground in LA.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now they gave him that major dope case. He finally got out, right? Did 20 something years. He was
Yeah.
never supposed to went to prison because in they law, I didn't write it. They say that if the government commits a crime and lures a civilian into the criminal network,
Yes.
he has qualified immunity. Can't be prosecuted because the
I've heard
government.
that. So it does happen.
It's
So,
in the law.
oh, wow.
The law that is under is entrapment,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
right? And it's
What
an
they
extension
what they
of
coerce
the
you.
yeah. So it's an extension of the color of law. I think it's 18 USC 1983. That you can't use the color of law to exploit people, basically.
Mm.
But it's the doctrine in law is called the entrapment defense. I would
Okay.
not have otherwise participated in this criminal activity had not the United States corporate government established this network around me and put me in it.
And entice me with the opportunities that would, put me in that
Right,
situation. That makes sense. Yeah. Because you're luring someone, you're giving them an opportunity where otherwise they probably wouldn't have participated.
right. Now, the Venezuela became the hotbed for DEA and CIA operatives who was working for the deep state in the transactions. They left Nicaragua, they left Colombia and a couple other countries because it was getting too hot and those local governments were starting to figure out the play.
Okay. Okay.
Now, where did they learn it from? They learned it from the Opium Wars of the British. The British gave them the blueprint. The Opium Wars is when Britain was fighting the Chinese and the Japanese,
Okay. Yes.
and they
Yeah.
and they bought up all of the poppy
Poppy
fields and
fields. Yep.
enticed farmers to produce massive amounts of poppy to produce opium.
Yes. Yes.
Right
Inevitable.
now, it's ironic that Afghanistan farmers said that the United States military under George W. Bush and Barack Obama was paying them 10 times their standard crops to not produce their standard crops and
Oh.
instead produce opium.
Oh.
It's
Really?
actually called the poppy plant.
Yes. And
Okay,
opium
now
is what drugs does that produce? Is that heroin or is
heroin,
that okay? Yeah.
heroin, fentanyl, um, any of those
Yeah.
opioids are all derived from the poppy plant,
Okay. Okay.
right? Morphine,
Oh, it's a
right?
naturally
Dilaudid,
yeah, yeah.
right? So now they using this network because now they growing poppies that used to only be grown in Asia. It has uh, a climatic condition in northern portion of South America equivalent where they can grow it there too. This is why fentanyl is coming in through there.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, now the names of the people who own all of this and who was flying pallets of money out of Venezuela. It was reported about 2 weeks ago before the president, his name Maduro, he was complaining on TV and he was telling Bush in public domain, and it's wide open. This is like one of his last major press conferences before they went and got him. But he was telling them, we'll give you all the names.
Oh,
Okay, now
it's a
he's
deal.
already what you call a despot leader.
Yeah.
The true leader, the duly elected president
Yeah.
of Venezuela, has been living in exile since I think 2020.
So they say
Or
the gentleman that they were trying to reinstate the state, right?
right,
Yeah.
he got elected by the people and ran out of the country by Maduro.
Yes. Yes. In
Right,
2021.
Maduro tried to arrest him because he won the election.
Mm.
Sound familiar?
Oh, it does.
Okay, now Maduro has a intelligence service like we have a CIA over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his intelligence service is keeping track of everybody that's down there from America and all it's a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Now, these billionaires, Dick Cheney was a major player and he didn't die of natural causes.
Oh.
This is why they talking about, if you pay attention, they telling you Halliburton is seeking the contract to refine the Venezuelan oil. Halliburton was the company that Dick Cheney sat on the board of. They got all of the rebuilding contracts from Iraq and Afghanistan after the Gulf War,
Okay. Okay.
right? So Halliburton is making a play to get in on the Venezuelan thing. Now remember, Cheney gone now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now, what was the first thing Trump did after Maduro gave his press conference was kill the airspace. You can't fly over Venezuela.
Yes. Yes. In the Caribbean,
Okay, now
that middle part. Yeah.
let's say you got $2 billion in hard currency US and $100 bills on pallets.
Mm.
How you gonna get it out of there now?
You can't. And silver too. Let's
Right.
get
And
that.
now you can't pay your private military.
Oh, so they're open for outside contracting. Is that?
Yeah. They because their bank accounts already been froze.
Oh,
So they have the only way they can pay their private militaries is in cash,
yes.
right? And all of the people, you got to remember, 95% of all private militaries or more
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
are former soldiers who came home and started a military at home
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
as a private military contractor. Who is the number one contractor of private military in the world? The United States.
Yes. Yeah.
United States. So if you want to be on a list of potential clients, you have to make a connection with the Department of Defense. It's the same as registering a well-organized militia constitutionally if you're talking republic.
Okay.
But if you talking corporate, you talking now a franchise of private militaries that operate freelance, but they don't operate freelance because most of the people that started it being military believed, and this is why they started private militaries at home to be utilized
Mm-hmm.
in the time of domestic warfare where the United States military not allowed to come in, but these private militaries can give 100% of their support to the National Guard,
Oh, interesting.
right? They don't have to have any congressional approval. They only have to know who is the commander of this private military, introduce him to the commander of
And
the
that's it.
National Guard. Now, remember, the guy that Trump put over the military is a former National Guard captain, I think, or lieutenant or something. He was a high-ranking National Guard member. He's put him there because of what's going on right now. If you look right now, every major city in this country has a contingent of National Guard just out of sight.
Yeah. Which was
We saw
instituted a
them
couple
over the
months ago.
last 4 or 5 years when the first thing Trump did was seize all our assets back from the UN. First thing he did in his first term. The bankruptcy is part of the bankruptcy.
Oh,
And so we had gave the UN Humvees and tanks and all kind of stuff, right? For what we call international peacekeeping missions.
yes, yes.
Okay, now we was watching them bring all that stuff back home.
Okay.
Where it go? It don't
Oh,
got UN on it no more. Where did it go? They not flying across the country saying UN on them now.
no.
They either black, tan, or camouflaged. And they are under the control of the National Guard. All of that military equipment that America was lending to the United Nations was brought back home.
So did the National Guard's ranking kind of get buffed up to a higher
They don't
level?
have to because domestic warfare has to be fought by the National Guard, and they
Okay,
can shoot them. The
okay,
term in a military lingo is sheep dipping. That's when you go from one branch of the military to get specialists from other branches.
okay,
It's
okay,
called sheep dipping.
okay, okay.
Okay, now when the National Guard is activated, like Trump have them activated, all of the Joint Chiefs of Staff have to give whatever support necessary to neutralize the domestic threat,
Okay.
right? So now he's getting all of the names of the deep state actors and also the militaries, the private militaries are saying, you can't pay, we can't work.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we don't work for free.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the check?
We private military. It's all chess game, military strategy
Yeah,
basics,
yeah.
right? So Trump is aware that he can avert a whole bunch of bloodshed by cutting off their money supply by closing the airspace over Venezuela.
Okay.
Now, once he got their names, they can't collect their money that's on them pallets.
That's interesting.
So they can't pay their military because they under a microscopic scrutiny from the military intelligence.
Okay.
Now, what ends up happening is what we call collateral events. I mean, if you do one thing, you're gonna have other stuff that's gonna happen because of it, right? And one of the things is the ability to secure the mineral wealth.
Mm,
The reason that's even important right now
hmm.
is because under the United States Indigenous Rights Act, Big Mama got a right to claim all of the mineral wealth of the Americas
Okay. I get that.
right now. Doge is the responsible for cataloging where all of the money was going and where's the waste, where's the fraud. That's their job. They don't have to do nothing else.
Okay.
Right now, even though we seen Elon when they did the major DC audits, he was just to draw the public attention to Doge.
Yes.
He's not an accountant, but he got some
Oh,
out cold accountants that work for him.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So in order to get access to his specialist accountants that can run through this stuff with a fine tooth comb, they contracted to his company. But he was only allowed to be in charge of it for I think 6 months. And then he had to step down. Then you saw him and Trump have a fallout, but they didn't really have a fallout. It
Oh,
was the convenient cover story for the ones who don't know what's taking place not to figure out that his term, his appointment, because he had a limited term appointment from Trump, it expired.
Oh, okay. But he had a black eye. That was all smoke and
Good
mirrors.
cop, bad cop.
Okay, okay, okay,
Good
okay.
cop, bad cop. They're the same. Okay, now, what else is going on in Venezuela? All
Well,
right.
yeah,
So we also got the silver mines.
that were wait, can I just add this? That were
Hmm.
evacuated before he was extracted, and those ships went by way to Miami. And what word on the curb is they are in Moscow. What do you think about that?
It's not difficult to perceive that. I'm gonna tell you why. First
Mhm.
of all, that ship that they said was a Russian ship that Trump seized,
Yeah, yeah,
it wasn't a Russian ship.
yeah. Ooh. That's why Russia hasn't done anything because it wasn't their ship.
Right. It was a Venezuelan ship. The only thing Putin wants is the people that was on the ship so he can prosecute their ass.
Ah,
Most of us don't know Russia is also using Guantanamo Bay
yes, it is. Yeah.
to prosecute war crimes under military tribunals, but they just using a Russian equivalent of JAG, but they are there. China got judges down there too, or advocate generals. Judge advocate generals, what they call it in the military over here, but they got different names over there.
What about the vice president being over in Russia at the time that Mondero and his wife were extracted? What do you think about that?
It was strategic. The vice president of Venezuela.
Yeah, she was over in Moscow. That sorry, the dog. Hold on for a second. My dogs are going crazy. Hold on. Chill out. Yeah, she was in Moscow at the time of his extraction. That's what makes me think he knew there was a heads up. And also when they came, they took him, his wife, and I heard maybe his son, and she was sworn in after the fact. What was that about?
Okay, now, if she had been home and they extract the president, if she is under his regime, they have to extract her too. But if she's
Yeah,
abroad,
yeah.
when they go in there, they don't have to worry about her. They can let her stay where she at till it's over.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
when she can come back home and assume office
She did.
and talk shit,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? But all the time, she's part of the regime change. Remember, most of us are not aware that um, most of these countries, heads of state are changing to females,
I noticed that. Yeah,
matriarchal takeover.
that's right. Ah, pas toucher ça, pas toucher ça. Alors, sorry, that was bad.
That's my dog. I think my dog was trying to go outside. I was trying to see where he
Oh,
went.
I know they as soon as we're on, it's like they got radars to talk. Um, so and also we found out big up to I'll wait until Rod said when we found out something.
I'm still here.
Okay, I found out from one of our C stars in the group Oracle, big up to Oracle. You've talked to her a couple times. We found out that Mindoro, because again, my grandmother had lived in Venezuela for like maybe 15, 16 years.
Hmm.
And at the time, Chavez was the one who appointed Mandoro. And from what I understand is that Mandoro is of the bloodline of a Sephardi. He's actually Sephardi. His mother is a Sephardic Jew. Did you know that?
A lot of these people are now. Remember, Sephardic Jews are Spanish Jews.
Yes, from Spain, and Morocco.
But the Khazarian Jews is a whole nother animal.
Hmm.
They come from what's known as Prussia.
Yes, the Khazars, converts.
Right. Now, the Sephardic Jews, they are not Zionists. Most of them aren't Zionists. They don't believe in Zionism.
No. But weren't they
But
participants in the colonization of the Americas along with the Moors?
yeah,
Hmm.
they was proxy slaveholders.
Hmm.
That's so that they can give you the appearance of the paleface being the owner. He
Yes.
wasn't the owner, he was the manager.
Mm.
Okay, now from um what's from Venezuela, from him capturing them, now they can do two things. When he get them names up, they can prevent the assassination that was coming.
Ooh.
He's under close scrutiny and close guard. He's
Hmm.
probably the most monitored prisoner in the country right now
Absolutely.
because they don't want the story to come across like it did with Epstein and many others.
Anything, wasn't it good timing just as they were procuring, some of the extractions on the list that this happened around the same time? Kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, but see, there was other stuff going on too. I remember they was arresting judges,
Mm,
police, that was trafficking the human involved in human trafficking.
interesting.
Now, the Maduro case is going to overshadow all that stuff
Hmm. Absolutely.
because of the potential for it to be a full scale war. But the potential is not really there.
Do you think
The
that at the same time, the same day, I think some of the chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, uh, uh, King Shrari was also had an attempted
attempted
assassination
assassination, that's
on the
correct.
same day. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is not
But
ironic.
no, all of those things be scheduled just so you can connect dots.
Hmm.
You can't connect dots if the dots is too far apart,
Right.
right? So you go back to what is Trader? He's leading the redemption of Africa.
Absolutely.
Okay, now over here, Trump is leading the redemption of the republic so they can give it back to the tribes, the
Hmm.
redemption of the Americas. Final redemption falls in the hands of the lead matriarch who represent all of the tribal clan mothers across the land from every tribe without distinction or separation from clan mothers.
Hmm.
So you have an executor qualified to close the contract on behalf of all of the co-executors. The co-executors are the other mothers who are the rightful landholders based on their lineage.
Hmm.
Now, the ironic that this is taking place at this time because somebody just sent me a video of Chief Warhorse in the court with her back to the judge while the lawyer read off the treaty violations,
Oh,
right? And let me send it to you so you know what I'm
please.
talking about. I'm gonna send it to you. It's easy. Well, I be saying this stuff. People be swearing Rod Hayes crazy as hell, but when I show the receipt, it take the insanity out of it.
Yeah, because timing is everything. There's no such thing as coincidence, right?
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. And then I'll ask you when you send that. I'm gonna see if I can play it here. I don't know if I can get. I don't know if I can though. Hold
It's a
on.
Facebook video. You might be able to pull it up.
Okay. Hold on. Bye, Sachet. Hold on one second. Ooh, I see it. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it into Zoom. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Everyone, please give some love to Rod Hayes in the motherfucking house, okay? We're cooking. We didn't even start. We didn't even put it on the heat yet. You know what I mean? We just putting in ingredients. Hold on, let me see if I can. Forgive me, y'all. I'm a little slow with this.
So over here, excuse me.
I'm listening. I'm just getting this. I'm going to try to pull it up. Okay.
We got tribal stuff going on with tribal leadership doing a specific part of the redemption process. The tribal mothers have first right of the redemption. What that mean? That mean as the tribal mothers of the land, they own the land and can serve eviction by a grandfather clause to use a prior law that predate the Constitution, Article 77 of the Iroquois Confederacy.
Mm.
I had to read it out in the public domain because it had to be read by a war chief in order to pass the baton to the peace chief.
Let me ask you a question regarding that. What part does the Ashkenazi, who are basically leading for a lot of are tied with Trump, like they have a lot of say in what he's doing with his administration, but they're not tied to the land. Why would they even be involved?
They owned the corporation.
Oh, interesting.
They were the corporation stakeholders, but they wasn't the real stakeholders. They was the representatives of the stakeholder that show their face in the public. The real stakeholders are called the Amun priests. They don't want to be seen.
Oh, interesting.
Until we ran their ass up out of Switzerland from under that mountain.
Oh, that's where the hive is. Yes.
Yes, they're not there no more. They doing tours in the cavern that was under the Swiss Alps. They doing tours of it, but they ain't showing everything.
Mm. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just share the sound. Okay. Let me play this.
Is the oldest documented place in St. Tammany Parish, and the Chata are the original people whose mounds, waterways, and villages were discovered by Spain, France, England, and America. And whereas the Chata conducted business with those nations and traded throughout the Americas from historic Chata trading posts in
Chata.
Chata, thank you. This is why I did not read this, y'all. Whereas Major General Andrew Jackson asked the Chata to raise an army to fight with America for West Florida. And whereas only 217 years ago that St. Tammany and West Florida parishes became a part of America after the Chata agreed to fight with the United States, Chief Pierre Juzan, all right, as captain in the army, led a company of Chata warriors who brought a strategic advantage that would greatly influence the outcome of the Battle of New Orleans. And whereas under Captain Pierre Juzan's command, the Chata, on December 23rd, 1814, defended Jackson's attack on the British encampment at Billary Plantation when they approached from the swamps, inflicting more than half the casualties on the British. Again, at the Battle of Chalmette Plantation on January 8th, 1815, the Chata patrolled unseen from the swamps and helped bring about the defeat of the British and expansion of the United States of America across the Gulf. Whereas Chief Pierre Juzan was the signer of the 1830 Treaty of Dancing Rabbit Creek between the Red people and their descendants and the United States of America, under then President Andrew Jackson, he insisted the treaty include Article 14 so that 196 years ago, the Chata were guaranteed dual citizenship and property rights for their heirs and assigns of those who did not move to Indian Territory, Oklahoma. And whereas, after confirmation of the Treaty of Dancing Rabbit Creek, Chief Pierre Juzan served from 1838 to 1841 as the hereditary chief of the Pushmata district in Indian Territory and as chief in Bonfuca until death. Chief Pierre Juzan traveled by boat and land between Bonfuca and Indian Territory in Oklahoma, and his descendants continued to travel to Indian Territory for census and to bring food, medicine, and supplies to their people. And whereas Juzan lived out his life and is buried in Bonfuca, and seven generations later, Chief Elwin Warhorse Gilliam is the hereditary chief of the Chata of Bonfuca. And whereas Chief Warhorse and her family reside on land which has been continually owned by Juzan's descendants, and they have lived up to Article 14 of the 1830 Treaty of Dancing Rabbit Creek. And whereas the Chata have since fought in every war for America, and their veterans are buried in historic mounds and cemeteries in St. Tammany Parish. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Arthur Lawful, Councilman District 11, would like to recognize January 8th, 2026 as Chief Pierre Juzan Day, and he will be honored as a hero of the Battle of New Orleans and throughout historic Bonfuca, St. Tammany Parish.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. Now, Rod, that's a lot.
Whereas
That
Montfaucon
means
is the
that
oldest.
there's acknowledgement happening. Why, at this time, that means something.
Yes, she's been fighting. She's been fighting this for years.
Why is her back to the bar, to the,
Because she turned her back on him because to her he's a disgrace. The tribal league, that means that whatever they did is behind her now. It's over with. It's behind me. All y'all stuff is behind me.
yes.
It's in the past now.
Mhm.
They didn't honor the treaty.
No.
Then they tried to use the treaty and misinterpret it on purpose to absorb Chata territory that was exempt from corporate control of the United States by those treaties.
Mhm.
This is why only 5 tribes made treaties.
You're right.
Most of the tribes did not do treaties with them, and we were classified as outlaw tribes, enemy combatant tribes, belligerent tribes, right? Because we didn't cooperate.
My grandmother confirmed that when she died at 103. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Now, these are terms they used in law. The ones that became $5 Indians became known in law as foreign dependent nations. How in the hell you foreign at home?
Yeah, placeholders. Placeholders, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they foreigners. They don't know they foreigners though.
No, they don't. They really don't. The
It-
grandparents, the original
right.
grandparents too. Yeah.
Now, the blonde hair, blue eyes will know they ain't no damn Indian.
They know they're not.
Right. They know they 98% Irish or 99% English, Polish or whatever. They know what they not, but they know that they was enrolled under the Dawes roll for $5 in
Absolutely.
order to carry our birthright on their back as if they was us. Right? That's what they call the destiny swap.
Yes.
But they can't take our destiny.
Well, they
And
never tried.
Tupac said, "My destiny to overthrow those on top of me."
Right.
You could, even if you blind, you could still see my prophecy.
Powerful.
Right? So we know what our destiny is. We back for everything they owe because Empress Verdiasti told you this is the return of the ancient ones, and she wrote a whole book about it. Right? The only reason she didn't complete her task and it had to pass from the red house to the blue house is because she got infiltrated. And she got a whole video. Elder was telling me he got the video where she broke down her infiltration. That's why she stopped short of reclaiming it all. We needed somebody else that was audacious enough to sit in Congress Hall in Big Mama's seat and on behalf of all of the tribal mothers and reclaim what's ours. Right? We can't tell Big Mama what to do if she can or cannot sit in her seat. We just got to tell her where it's at and what it means for her to sit there in Congress Hall. She's not under contracts.
No, not at all.
Right?
Yeah.
She has the sole contract to the soul of the planet because she's one with the creator, one with the earth. She is the spokesperson in the physical form of the earth and the great mother.
Yes. Like in the movie
We don't
Ava.
know who we only know her when she show herself and she want to be seen. The Black Madonna.
That's right.
Right? And she show herself with the presence of the child that the system tried to devour. Keep watching now, it's coming. All of y'all, FleurBrun, are the mothers that's been trying to nurture us through this trauma. And now it's time for y'all to cash in on your shit.
Well, for the babies.
There's
For the baby.
one thing left.
Yeah.
Right? One thing left. So on Sunday, right? Sunday is the 11th.
Yes. The gate out.
It's It's the reverse of my birthday. Mirror
Oh,
flip. I put in the work to allow Big Mama to tell the world I came to get my shit.
mm,
I didn't put in the work for Rod Hayes to come over in Big Mama house and say, I came to get my shit.
mm.
I came to get my mama and my sister shit. I said it in the beginning and I'm showing it in the end. I'm not worried about man because they'll take care of me till man come in.
That's right. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
So I ain't worried.
How
Long
powerful.
as my mama said, don't let nobody take nothing from your brothers and your sisters. That don't just stop with my immediate family with me. That's how I'm built now. I'm wired that way.
Oh God.
Somebody took my sister's shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's
And I
powerful.
say, Mama, why my sisters don't got their shit? She said, because you ain't big enough to take it back yet.
Mm.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm only 4.
Oh, like Rod Hayes, hold on. You've got me like in my emotions now. I know this is beautiful, but it's so powerful. I'm such a oh, it's beautiful. Sorry,
So I
y'all.
got
Yeah. Go ahead, Rod.
so I got the green light,
Mhm.
right? I had to be allowed in by a qualified indigenous tribal mother.
Mhm.
I got to offer my services as a war chief
Mhm.
and a strategist to all of the tribes, even if they don't like me,
That's nor here or there, right?
right? The only thing I care about is my mama and my sister getting their shit back. The only way I can do that is I have to out strategize and I have to speak up for every tribe, even if they don't like me,
That's right.
without distinction separation. Because Big Mama said we all in this together, whether we like it or not.
That's right.
And the one who knows the way must take the lead,
Moses. That's that Moses thing. You know what I mean? With the
right?
staff.
So Mother Khadijah gave me the permission to go tell Empress Redbird where the sacerdotal seat was at
Mm.
in Congress Hall, where the replica was at that showed the usurpation in everybody's face that ain't nobody paying attention to.
Mm.
So I showed I told the whole story. It wasn't the man, the son who was crucified, it was the mother.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anybody that don't believe me can look up the crucifixion of Venus and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Jesus is Isis. That's
Yeah.
why they know every one of these stringy haired, long beard clowns is clowning around when they say they Jesus. Because they know that he is the personification of the fraud perpetrated on the great mother.
That's
To
right.
pass the son off as the mother and changing the name of the mother.
That's right. And then
Many will come to me in those days and say, I've healed the sick, cast out demons, all in your name. And I will say, get thee hence. I know you not,
mm,
ye workers of iniquity. Why she don't know them? They've been using the name.
yeah.
Okay, now, if I was to come over here to talk to FleurBrun, I'm not going to call her Sherry
Yeah.
because you ain't going to acknowledge it because it ain't your fucking name,
That's right. That's right.
right? So they've been calling the wrong name, and it's only one translation over into the Greek that you find that it was Isis.
Mhm.
Most of us don't know that the whole Hebrew narrative is the backstory written after the first crucifixion. We don't know that Aset means throne and
Does it?
Pharaoh mean yes, Aset means throne.
Interesting.
The Greek translation of Aset is Isis.
Interesting.
They putting ice on the land to get the imposters out
Oh,
because ISIS is on the land. This is the return of the Black
interesting.
Madonna.
What?
They've been telling us without telling us the whole time. ISIS
Mm.
on the land. ISIS on the land. Big Mama home.
Oh, I know that's,
Don't believe it. They don't believe it though.
I believe you. I know. So.
Right? So now you got all of these matriarchs that's doing this stuff on behalf of the tribes. And then you have the guys coming in and the support team, the mama boys. They come to get their mama shit and they need to find somebody who know who got my mama shit and how they got it tied up and how we get it cut loose.
Absolutely.
Right? Then they find me and they say, yeah, I can work with him
Mm.
because he can see something that everybody else keep overlooking.
That's right.
Right?
Or
And
purposefully,
eventually,
yeah, not looking.
right, eventually I get to talk to all of the chiefs. They get to interact like me and you interacting,
Mm-hmm.
right? The matriarchs, they come, they call me on their own, the
Yes.
elder women,
Yes.
right? And they'll ask me some questions to determine if I'm the one who gonna get their shit back.
They
And
know.
when they get off the phone, they say, you the one,
Yes.
right? I didn't tell them I was the one. They told me I was the one.
Mm-hmm.
Because my opinion don't count to me. Their opinion do,
Mm.
right? Because the respect for the mother is going to come out in the self-respect I got for me,
That's right.
right? And if I give the mothers they due respect, it's going to make me shine brighter than I would on my own in the name of love,
Yes.
right? Because Larry told us that the first principle of the universe is love, right? And Noble Drew Ali taught us about love. Elijah Muhammad taught us about love. The common denominator in the good ones and the bad ones, they all told us that the remedy to the problem is it has to be unconditional love,
Yes.
right? How do you prove unconditional love? There's no
Through action.
conditions attached,
No, nothing. It's just
right?
it just is,
That's
right?
right. So now you find where the problem is that you can see because we don't all see the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us have what's called panoramic vision. We can see more of the problem than others,
Absolutely.
right? And then you have those of us with holographic vision
Mm.
that can see every part of the problem, zoom in, zoom out, monkey flip through the whole maze and come out on top and tell
Yeah.
you what everything is and where it's all at.
Absolutely.
Playing
Yeah.
monkey in the middle, catching keys as he flip. It's just a game of pickle.
I heard about that from my ex's family in Detroit would talk about that. That's
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
So just the Sacco Mao, it's the monkey man,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the son becomes the father because the mama picked the son as the heir, meaning he's the one gonna be most like the father.
Yes.
And then she turned that shit on 200 and everybody else just on 10.
10. There's a 10.
And he got to learn how to control it.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't easy being greasy. Let me tell you. So when the whole matriarchal return is taking place in real time.
Oh, absolutely.
You the judiciary is gonna fall because they are all administrative law courts. They not true law courts.
Mm.
You want a receipt?
Yes, please. Yes, sir. We accept receipts here.
According to the United States Supreme Court, there have not been any administrative law judges since 1789.
Really? Wait, let me pull this up for everybody. Hold on.
So what they've been doing is they have a group of people called barristers in England. And the barristers are the ones who deal with legal matters in the court of the royal house. The extension of the barristers became known as the Barristers Association Registry, the Bar Association.
Yes.
The Bar Association give out titles of nobility by letters patent. Tracing it back to its origin is the French King George, 1863, Savannah, Georgia, the first charter.
Mm,
You remember we went over that and you posted it.
that's right, the charters. Yes.
Right. The importance of the charter is called a foundational document. The foundational document tells you what the original intent behind formulating the club.
Mhm.
And in that document, remember I had underlined those parts and told you that that's because them parts that was underlined was where King George was telling them to use the law to take our shit,
Yes. Yes.
right? Now we know who's stealing from us with proof. Now we go examine what are they doing with our estates in this system, right? And we analyzing what these judges are doing. They not running the court, the clerk is. The clerk is a banker.
Say that again. The court is a banker?
The court is a banker.
How so?
The clerk of the court is a banker,
Yes, yes. Okay, let me bring that back up.
right?
Sorry.
The judge is supposed to be a um, administrator. The administrator's job is to determine whose part of the house it belongs in, right? This is why they bringing you in there. You don't really have nothing to do with it because you're not a bar member, but they using you as the paperwork. Your
Yes,
physical form is being used as the paperwork. Can you
yes.
zoom in on the middle paragraph so the people can see it?
Okay.
There are no judicial courts in America and have not been since 1789.
Hmm.
Judges do not enforce statutes and codes. Executive administrators enforce statutes and codes. This is two separate Supreme Court cases. One of them is FRC versus GE 281, United States Supreme Court 464 is the page. The other case is Keller versus PE 261, United States Supreme Court 428, and then it got a statute,
Mhm.
right? So 1789, we haven't had um any real judges.
So these people are administrators, you said.
Yes,
They're
they
not
not
judges.
they don't have a right to override tribal courts, but they are pretending to have the jurisdictional supremacy. And because they well organized, we believe that they are actually the ones who's supposed to be keeping law and order on the land,
Yes, yes. They're
right?
placators, right?
Yeah. So we go
Hos-
back to the entrapment of Chief Malik Angel Bay, aka Jeff Fort. Jeff Fort's job is to enforce law across the land. That's his job by tribal blood right. That's why he got caught up in an entrapment. How do we know it was an entrapment? Because they tried to do it to Four Corner Hustler Prince Low on the west side, but he didn't fall for it, so they murdered him.
Mm.
The police did it. Everybody on the west side of Chicago know the police did it, and the police don't deny it. So that go back to the most violent, bloody oath of the papacy, to kill the kings, the princes, and the people of the land. This purpose and the agenda is to try to take the land from the people.
Mm. Get rid
But
of
it's
the bad
something
lineage.
about the land. You can't take us from the land. We one with the land. So the harder you try to bury us, the more we pop up in other places.
Well, Rod, isn't there a concept of that's why they don't want our bodies in the soil? Because that would actually, they'll say you don't pay taxes if you bury a body or family member on your land. But doesn't that go back to the tribal traditions? Like once that body is buried, it literally has a hold. It amplifies its connection to the land. So that's why all this embalming and burning the bodies. What do you think about that? Is that connected to
That's
that?
because we never bury deeper than 3 feet so that we can return to the earth from which we came.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
6 feet burial is to bury you below the permafrost.
Interesting.
So now you can't be one with the earth in this new development. You got to wait to be dug up and recycled or
Yes.
decay over time. When you go to the 3 feet and under, you feed the vegetation the same way it fed you.
That's right. The trees, because we go into the roots. That's what my grandma
Eternal
told me.
reciprocity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eternal reciprocity.
Yes.
This is why I tell everybody, I can't explain it no better than how did we get here? We came from the earth. We one with the earth. We
Mhm.
manifest earth spirits walking around in human bodies.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? That's how I know everything that the tribe's supposed to know that was erased from us because I'm one with the earth and the earth
You already
tell me.
know. It's inside of you. The cellular
Right. And
memories
then
are
I go
there.
talk to the elders and they tell me, yeah, you're right. But you
Mhm.
can't tell everybody that because they think you're crazy and lock you up, or the
Oh,
police should be at you, or the government to crash down. I don't give a damn about none of that.
no.
They didn't already did. They didn't already got 16 years out of me, but
Mhm.
they don't know that I got 32 years worth of PhDs out of them.
That's right.
So they 16 years, I doubled the value. You can hold me down, but I'm gonna double it back up.
Raising your scholarship. Yeah.
You did. So when I tell you that I came to get my sister shit and my mama shit, all mama got to do is assert her executive privilege
That's
on
right.
behalf of all of the tribal mothers across the land. That
Yes.
go all the way from wherever you can find land in the north to wherever you can't find it no more in the south.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wherever you can find land touching on the borders of water, the territorial right goes to the tribal mothers to always redeem the land by finding a competent and audacious tribal mother that'll go sit in the sacerdotal seat and say that if y'all don't want to put it together, I will.
That's right.
I'll be the sacrifice in order for us to have a future.
I hear
And she
that.
gonna go take it up on herself and go sit in the sacerdotal seat.
Mm.
And then I'm gonna show you this. You know I like receipts.
Yes. We accept receipts over here in FleurBrun's channel. Some people don't like receipts because it bothers them. Proof is in the pudding. And I was going to say something about that too. I know you didn't, I'm not sure if you saw the Avatar movie, but it kind of speaks to this with Awa. Awa is the connection in the old Avatar. She was the tree on top. But it's interesting in this Awa, she's the sea vegetable, the sea tree underneath this water, right? And the placaters, the cosplayers, the non-originators, the hybrids were trying to get in contact with Awa. And every time they connected their cosplaying tail to her, she would kick them out or try to kill them. So they had to get two originals, which are the two avatars, in order to go in and pull her in because she was unnatural to bring them to Awa because Awa wasn't going to accept her. AWOD know what's real and what's not. You could look a certain way, and that's a term one of our Sun Stars who passed. He transitioned 2024 Oz. He said your statement. That's the first time I heard it. He said they look like us, but they ain't us. That's where I got that. I was like, who said that? Like Rod Hayes said that.
They-
FleurBrun, get it right.
and that's why all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah, yeah. And they will send, it's interesting because when you start speaking truth or you start shaking the lies off, like the scales off the eyes, they will send those who look like you, who sound like you, even, have a propensity of you, they send them for you. It's never going to
Yeah,
be somebody who looks different. It's going to be somebody who looks like you.
yeah. So they exploiting the xenophobia,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right? And then they are pushing away the xenophilia.
Stunning. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at what Rod had sent me. I'm in awe. What? Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. That is absolutely magnificent.
Okay, I'm gonna give, when you put it up there, I'm gonna give a little explanation. We still ain't got to the show yet.
I know. I told them we were just getting the ingredients. Like, Rod, go in that fridge. Go get them shallots, please. We gotta put that in the pot. You'd be like, go ahead, FleurBrun. I gotta put this in first because we can't put all the ingredients until yet. We can't start cooking. Rod, this is like a part series. Hold on, hold on. I'm getting everything sent. I'm gonna just take this one.
Just an outlaw, baby, an outlaw, just an outlaw, baby.
Okay, hold on. I got all these magnificent pieces. Hold on.
So I was telling everybody we had to reverse engineer history in order to get out of this conundrum we was in. But it was so many moving parts, it made it difficult to reverse engineer it until you can see it holographically, right? So you got to see it from the fourth dimension, looking at the three dimension,
Mhm.
right? In order to get to the fifth dimension, you got to be able to flip out of the infinity loop.
Yes. Yes.
And the only time you can flip out of the infinity loop is when you cross in what's called a Maherta.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Rod is y'all nobody sleeps on you, but I'm just saying sometimes I'm like, I know that too. Rod, you like I told you I think you're alien, but we'll talk about that later. You won't accept I
This
mean
is Earth intelligence I'm
it,
displaying.
it is. But it's
This,
very
they
extra.
call this, we used to call it mother's wit. Wisdom was called
Oh,
mother's wit,
right.
and it was referred to as the divine Sophia.
Yes, yes.
Sophia was a lot of our grandmama's names for a reason.
That's right. Yeah. French, they say Safia, so we have Safia in French. Sometimes it's like Safia, which is like
Yeah.
Sophia. Yeah.
And then you have what's called name variants, like another name for Sophia is Sonia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember the Red Sonja? That's interesting because they kind of reference her in movies, right? There's Sonja.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. What? Okay, okay. Wait, I'm a nerd. Okay, so let's look at this. Rod, what are we looking at right now?
This is Congress Hall. That's the political seat of the government that was abandoned.
Hmm.
The only person authorized to retake that seat is a qualified tribal mother. Can't nobody else retake it. That's why they had to go to DC.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, what a lot of people don't know, when Empress was taking her seat in this seat, right,
Mm-hmm.
there was another sister who was channeling the message from the ancestors in an adjacent room triggered by the event,
Mm. Look at this.
right?
So,
Now, this is the seat that sits above the Pope. This was called the Vatican seat. When
yes.
they named it the Vatican, this was Big Mama's sacerdotal seat, right? So I explained how it works, the sacerdotal seat. Now, this is the exaggerated version of Big Mama's seat. That's why it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that's preventing Big Mama from getting on her seat was the Pope. How do we know? Because under Big Mama's seat was the supplanter,
Yes. Yes.
the underminer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, they can't stop her from sitting in her seat. The security guard was trying to tell her she can't sit in the seat, but he couldn't do anything of his own volition to stop her.
Mm.
But she'd tell her own story.
Yes.
It's not my story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I can just tell y'all it's coming. Now, when she takes the seat at Congress Hall, it's symbolically, this is what's being done, right? But her sitting in the seat in Congress Hall is literally what it looked like.
It's activating as well. She activated it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's to activate all other tribal mothers to
That's
assert
right.
their jurisdictional supremacy and to reclaim the land under the grandfather clause. The
Mm-hmm.
grandfather clause reserves the mother's rights to reclaim the land at the close of the age in order to prepare the whole planet for the next 7 generations. It's an irrevocable contract between the women. They the only ones can violate it because they the only ones involved. I just got to tell y'all where it's at.
You know what's interesting, Rod, about that is that there was a video that Jay-Z made a while ago. It's called Family Feud. I don't know if you saw it, Family Feud, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shows the women sitting at the table, all the different women of the different bloodlines sitting at the table, making decisions and delegations based on their new positions or old positions, rather, right? It's interesting. It's called 44, right? It was on the 44 album,
Mm-hmm.
right?
44 being angel.
Uh-huh. It's interesting he made that video a while ago, right after his wife was making, I'm not saying y'all, I'm not saying they are gods, I'm not saying that everything's symbolic,
They
but
messengers.
yeah, just like his wife was, we run the world, girls, we run the world, girls, we run the world.
Because she was reciting Oshun rituals to
Mhm.
reactivate the divine feminine in the daughters of Oshun.
Mm.
That's why she came up with the Bayhive,
Yes, yep.
right? The
Gay
Bayhive is the
hives.
play on the beehive, the honey pots.
Yes, what?
The,
Go ahead, Rob.
the honey pots is the money pots
Yes, yes.
because the daughters inherit the wealth, but the sons get the right to rule,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Only one son ever been born with both birthrights.
Mm-hmm.
The first son of
Mm-hmm.
the great mother. Immaculate conception, a parthogenic male child.
That's right.
Having both Y chromosome to rule the male line, but he's coming from the X chromosome as a heritable birthright,
Mm-hmm.
which is a problem for the Anunnaki because they always exercise the Y chromosome rulership right to subvert the divine feminine.
They're a phallic society, though. They worship the wand.
Yeah, but that's Inky worship. The phallic worship is Inky's
Oh,
worship.
really?
Yeah, but if you ever notice, like where you see a what's they call it, the Cleopatra's needle obelisk.
Yes, yeah.
Everywhere you see an obelisk, you go at the bottom of it. There's supposed to be a Vesica Pisces
Which represents the womb. Yeah.
because it's the symbolism is the deep penetration of the father who lost his phallus, Osiris,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he found itself deep within the womb of the mother.
Mm.
Phallus worship.
Yeah.
The potency to be potent, even without the pole of potency.
Ooh!
Now that's potent.
Ah, that's dope.
Right. So that's potent male energy. That's divine masculine
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Right. So the son can only sit on the seat when he becomes to the same quality of man as the father.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can take the throne.
Isn't the point of mutilating the boy when he's born by mutilating his genitalia a form of like taking away that right or
That's
disallowing that?
That's Babylonian blood magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
The foreskin is used because it's to take away the sensitivity of the phallus itself.
And it encourages homosexuality as well because it takes away the sensitivity, making the men more prone.
Right. So now they need extra tight
Mm-hmm.
rather than the tight
Regular.
that is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need something smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes
Children.
them go down the food chain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Children or anal cat. Well, let me stop. It's before 12, Rod.
But it's actually it's Talmudic in
Mm-hmm.
origin. They came from Babylon, what they
Mm-hmm.
called a 400-year captivity.
Mm-hmm.
They used the 3 tiers of seeing rites called Babylonian magic
Mm-hmm.
of blood magic, sex magic, and money magic to subjugate the world.
Absolutely.
But we know they ain't from here. How do we know this? Because they waiting on their God to come give them a promised land.
The
Everybody
Leviathan.
else already was where they at.
Yeah,
They
the
didn't have to
Leviathan.
take nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They was already where they at. All of the indigenous people of the earth was already there. They're the only people that don't belong nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why they don't belong nowhere?
Because they're not from here.
Because they're not from here.
Mm-mm.
Whoever's responsibility is, that person lost. Now he can't give you the promised land because Yahweh got his ass kicked.
Mm. If you know what's interesting, I'm going to show you this as well. As we're talking about the Babylonian interface and the kind of like a parasitic intervention, because most Christians don't realize, why are you having your son circumcised when he's a boy and he's Christian? Why are you doing something that is connected to Judaism? You know what I mean? And not many mothers ask that question.
Well, a lot of them believe the law of the circumcision carries over into the new covenant.
Oh, I see. Mm.
Right. So that's why they continue to do it, because it wasn't explicitly prohibited once it was established.
Mhm.
Whereas a lot of the other stuff that they didn't like about the Judaic references was banned in the New Testament. But the New Testament is really the Old Testament,
How so?
because the Old Testament is a after the fact backstory devised for the New Testament.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Because I found it was interesting. I saw the Star of David on money, on currency in 1912, 1921, I think. Oh, 1921, I'm going to send it to you. And I found that interesting. How was that possible before there was a huge exodus out of Europe into the Americas? But apparently they were already present in the United States.
Um, they came in with the colonizers.
Mm.
Remember,
Oh,
the
yes.
the
Yeah.
original Jews owned the ships that the
Yeah.
so-called Moors used to navigate, because the original Jews was Negro.
Yes, and the regalia was the same. That's when you mentioned it on the show that time. You were like, look at the regalia. It's the same outfits that they wear today.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Just
Wow.
like they started the KKK, just like they was in Germany, started the Nazis. All of them are the same. But they just, the pale faces is the cover story for the blackface.
Mm,
And that's why they used to dress up in blackface, to tell us that it ain't them, it's the black faces behind them that got them putting on this show.
mm-hmm. Like Dave
But
Chappelle.
we
Remember?
took it as a discriminatory racial rhetoric. We didn't know that the paleface was telling us it was niggas behind it.
That's right. I got images. I'm gonna send the images you sent me. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Okay.
Now
Because I was
this right here
watching.
is Empress is sitting in that same sacerdotal seat. This could have got you killed 50 years ago,
Mm,
shot to death. And if the wrong person would have did it, they'd have went to prison.
mm.
They ain't said nothing to her about it.
Is it that they can't?
They can't. She's duly authorized now, right, to execute what's the term I'm looking for? Executive
Orders? No.
executive privilege,
Okay.
which is her right to cancel all contracts that are already canceled on her behalf. And they gave her the receipts to verify that I had canceled the contracts. The bankers did, the Rothschilds,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now she's sitting in the sacerdotal seat. She had to give them a certain amount of time to account for everything. So when people was asking about the picture on the left, I was like, yeah, that's just symbolism. But the reality did take place. And then, so I put this together to show the symbolic and the realistic. Now, notice in Congress Hall, you don't see anything hanging on the walls.
None.
Nothing,
No.
right? You got the picture of Congress Hall. Can you put that one up?
Yes. It's bare.
Nothing's hanging on the wall. That's because there's no contracts.
Oh.
All contracts have to be put on public display where the contract is being enforced.
Mm.
The contract for the land is called the bundle of sticks. And this is part of land law, right? And the executive privilege allows them to have the whole bundle of sticks to exercise territorial supremacy over the old fabricated system that has been proven to be a fraudulent system. That includes the Federal Reserve banking system because the bankers are the courts. The police are policy enforcers of the Crown of England because a handbook is written in London, England. They are the police in a police state that was under British rule.
Queen
And
Lizzie
this
the
is why
lizard.
when, huh?
Queen Lizzie the lizard.
The what?
Queen Lizzie the lizard. I was just saying, Queen Lizzie.
Oh, Queen
Elizabeth.
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 Yeah. Well, John D told Queen Elizabeth I how to write the contract in the blood of the chief, which was Crispus Attucks.
Mm.
And he the one gave her the blood magic ritual that they executed that I be calling the George Washington Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they never let us forget that the first person to die in the American Revolution was a Negro. But when you look up his ancestry, you find out he was a Native American.
Because they changed the lexicon, they changed the titles, the
Right.
description. Yeah.
Then when you look at the Boston Tea Party, right, it was started by some people that was dressed up like the tribes, but it wasn't us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, how is they dressed up like us and people know it ain't us? They look like us, but they wasn't us.
They king cosplayers. They king fed of cosplaying. That's what.
Right. So when you putting the history back together, when you reconstructing it, you're not realizing what you're looking at until you remember tribal custom.
Mhm.
Once you remember tribal customs, you can see that we doing stuff that's slightly different than what they doing, and they telling us a story that don't match tribal custom.
That's right. Even the outfits they wear on many of the tribal reservations. You know, my grandmother said something one time. She's like, "Oh, that's the Chinese regalia." Yeah, like she said, that's the Chinese. They do that. That's not something that was done here. You know, it's nice to have an elder because remember she lived until 104, almost 104. So I had. It's nice to hear a mind of wisdom that went past everybody else's placation and social engineering information. You know.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff was taught in Indian school.
Oh yeah, you were telling us that Indian school wasn't to de-Indianize them. I just made that up. De-Indianize them. It was to Indianize them. So that was to teach the cosplayers how to be a native. You know what I mean? Okay, Rob. You just need some tea. You know, the dirty ones are out here spraying all kinds of dirty, pussy things all over the place. Disgusting bastards. They're all in same parts. Let me give a shout out to you nasty bastards in same parts, spreading all kinds of venereal diseases, you nasty bastards. I'm sorry, Rod. Just I had a moment. I would just hold on, you know. So yeah, I was looking at this coin, right? Because
Mhm.
we were looking at this coin, and I noticed because I was talking to Melissa, and I was like, "Yo, is that a Star of David right there?" I was like, "Yo," I was like, "It was on the money back then. We haven't seen that. Well, maybe we have." And she was like, "Yeah, we have." So she showed me this picture of the money, which has it
Yeah.
on there right there. Oh, sorry.
That's really not the Star of David though.
I don't think, wait, let me see. Let me pull it up.
It's a 6-point star,
That
and we
looks like a,
commonly refer to it as the Star of David.
what is
That's
that?
the two-dimensional form.
Ah, okay. So it's
It's
like a
really a macabre. It's really a macabre.
macabre. Okay, okay. That makes sense then. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. But what do you, what came for, well, the macabre came first. So what do you think they're doing? They're cosplaying.
Okay, we think that's an eagle. That's a phoenix.
Ah, interesting.
But the state bird is the eagle.
Yeah,
The tribe's represented by the eagle. The
yes.
phoenix, that's the symbol of Enlil.
So that's not even, so it's not an
He
eagle.
he used the phoenix or the double head bird, the 32-degree Scottish Rite
Yes.
bird. That's the phoenix, but that's the bloodline that's showing you the red house.
Ah,
It's showing if you look on the front of the dollar bill, it tell you who the contract, the distribution of money go to, who made the contract on the front of
well,
the dollar bill.
don't you like my father had worked on Water Street for a long time, like Wall Street. And my dad used to tell me that a lot of the hedge fund guys or the guys working on the floor, they all transfer their money over to the Swiss accounts or over in the Caribbean, you know, to what is it? The island.
Tax shelters.
Yeah. But he said something that was interesting. He said that it was always told to him by his mother, the reason they do that is because the money's spelled and that that money has a contract to always go back to the original owners of it.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
So I explained it as currency being the dye marker in the water
Mm-hmm.
to monitor and capture the flow of energy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? We just look at it as paper. It's a dye marker
Yes.
because all of them are printed with dyes.
Yes.
In the printer, the actual plates that they print them with is called a die.
The printer itself is called the die?
The plates,
Oh, the plates. Okay.
casting dies is what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now then when they put it into circulation, money goes where the energy flow. If you look at a bank, it's on the main drag every time. You never see
Yeah,
one off to the side.
you're right. They have it on the ley lines, the proper ley lines.
And it's
Yes.
following the flow of the traffic of the people.
Wow.
Now, if you put pins in all of the banks in any city and you play connect the dots with string, you'll develop the sigil to capture the money that's flowing through the city.
That makes
Then you
sense.
got old banks and new banks because the old banks capture old money. That means
That's right.
large sums of money,
That's right. Yep. Yep.
right? The new banks is capturing fast money. That means the ever change of money stuck to inflation and debt. So
Wow.
it's not going to come in as big a quantity as old money. Old money come in the form of assets,
Yes.
gold and silver, or
Yeah.
black and gold, vice lord colors,
Yeah. What's credit? What the
right?
credit unions? What involvement do they have? What do they represent?
The credit union is the attempt to break free from the control of the banking system.
Mm-hmm.
The credit unions is what we had before they had banks,
Okay.
right? So that's why they allowed to continue to practice because they're the prototype for family banks.
Yes. And then I talked about also like when you come from outside into the Americas, a lot of island people from South America didn't have bank accounts. So we had susus, which I think also people from the South also had too, like susus. And you give it to some person, they were your bank. They were the most trusted out of all the people you knew. They came from wherever you came from, same tongue, same language, same tribe, and they held the money. They were the bank. It's usually an older woman, older man, generally, but they were we call them susus. Yeah.
Yeah, and that custom is how they even found out how to rob our banks.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
See, they was robbing our banks, and if you study economic hitmen, right, and how the bankers use economic hitmen to trap other people in debt, it'll make sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't robbing federal central banks because they didn't exist yet. So who banks was they robbing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because of the outlaws, they was able to establish the FDIC insurance program, and they was able to establish a government-controlled central bank. The banks were not centralized; they were localized.
Mm-hmm.
The families in the area had banks, and they protected the bank.
Yes, yes.
Right? That's why the outlaws had to ride in groups. They was really cavalry teams from the military,
Mm.
but they was undercover. They still do it.
So they were contracted by the government, basically.
Yes. Your Billy the Kids and all of your famous gangster bank robbers like Dutch Schultz,
That people
Bonnie and
love.
Clyde, they were
Yeah.
economic hitmen.
Wow.
And they just murdered them, but most of them didn't get killed for real.
Yeah.
Billy the Kid lived his life out in Texas,
Mm.
still telling his little war stories of closing banks.
Wow.
Only now do we begin to retell the story, like in the that movie that had Cherokee Bill in it. This is original KKK uniform. That's the leader of the KKK uniform, which is actually a Spanish uniform taken from Spain,
Mm.
from the Black Brotherhood of Spain.
And look at his hands, y'all. He's got dark skinned hands. Okay.
That's why they scribbled the face out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They didn't want you to know the original KKK were
They
the
were they
stealth.
were a branch of Freemason.
Mm-hmm. And here's this one. Just
We thinking that's the Klan, that's them right there, but they in Spain.
mm-hmm. And you see this in a lot of occultism. They wear those hats, like in forms of a more
And they're doing rituals and stuff.
mm-hmm. Yeah, look at this, y'all. This is in Spain.
That's
Brotherhood
what
of the
made us
Negro.
start calling them the Black Hand, because we were seeing them niggas' hands hanging from under the robes.
Mm. See, it says, speaking of the parade of the Negro Brotherhood in Seville, Spain. España. España. Everyone see that? 1926. Okay. Today, the descendants of these Spaniard Negroes, negritos. Okay. You see them? Morenas, e preto. E preto. That's absolutely, we didn't know that.
So when they started teaching them the whitewashing, it was to force the amalgamation with the Europeans that was bringing over. These them rotten niggas right here.
Woo, look at them. Look at this, y'all. That's a rabbi right there.
Mhm.
What complexion is he? Okay. What complexion is he? And notice he got the pheasants all around. What are these pheasants, right? Pheasants. And then he's a rabbi right in the middle.
Now you notice, you see right there, it says Zionist.
Mm-hmm. Go back. How come a lot of you don't know this? Rod sent this the other night. We were on a run. We were on a late night Zoom, being the ladies doing, in nightgowns, we late night owls. I'm telling you, we on a history run.
Okay, these are the people that was doing the maintenance on the George Washington Conjure
Mm,
by doing blood sacrifices of children from our neighborhoods. These people were infiltrated by Noble Drew Ali, who came back to tell us in tribal code who was behind it. The Moorish Science Temple was supposed to be studying the Moorish Zionist Temple, but they didn't know it because they got infiltrated
mm-hmm.
by the Moorish Zionist Temple. The spinoffs became your ADL and your JDL, and then they put the pale face out there so he can take the fall as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's a cat's paw.
Interesting. You said cat's paw. Cat's paw?
Yes. Right. Okay, now we in a conjure war with these people. We have to educate ourselves to the level where we can see the problem as smaller than our educational level. In other words, educate yourself above the condition so that you can exercise your tribal rights to restore and reclaim and restore balance back to the people in the land. Everybody had that same right, but everybody not going to exercise it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So remembering the old ways becomes critical. Right? My first big mama, the one who anointed me, Mother Margaret, right? She had tiered land all the way through the Mississippi Territory, from the bottom of Louisiana going into Canada above Minnesota. Right? To bring us to current events. Shut up. We can go wherever you want to go.
And this is the book. This is the book you sent us too, which I was like, we were bugging out. Like we saw this, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm so done. Like Professor Jeffries, shout out to Professor Jeffries, my first wisdom bearing professor. I was 17 and City College in the University of New York, and that man blew my mind with so much information. And many of you know, Professor Leonard Jeffries is also the friend of. And remember, this is me 17. I don't know who his colleagues were, but later on in life, everything's full circle. Friends with Dr. Africa, Rest in Power.
Africa, yeah.
Also with what's his name from Atlanta? Oh God, the one who had the pyramids in Atlanta.
Dr. York.
Dr. York. Those were his best friends. And this was the man who opens FleurBrun's mind as a little girl, like a fresh little girl, open and ready for revolution. He taught me. He was my cultivator. And then later on, Dr. Delbert Blair. I had some really amazing gentlemen, elders that really opened my mind. But look at this.
Look, I met Dr. Blair when I was like 13 and did not have a clue.
Did you really?
Look, I did not know this man from Iraq and Iraq.
That's wild.
My sister was dating a guy and he was part of the Meta Center, but I didn't know nothing about the Meta Center at the time.
Yeah.
When I seen Dr. Blair later on, when I started studying all his videos, I was like, I know this man, I know this man, I know this man. And then I was sitting there one day and I was remembering when I met him and who I met him through.
That's
so
wild.
Yeah, I was like 13 years old. So he was sitting there with his legs crossed and talking like he talked, but he was way younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there talking to him and he's telling me some spooky space shit that at the time I think he, weird. And later on, I started studying and I started finding that the stuff that he was telling me was showing up in the studies of ancient cultures of the world.
Absolutely. He was my
And I was like,
absolute,
whoa,
yeah, I
yeah.
loved it. I mean, I would be calling him at like 3 a.m. and he'd be saying, wait, let me go juice. He'd be juicing while we're looking at like UFOs in the sky. I love Dr. Blair. Like he was the most awesome man I've ever known. One of the most awesome men I've ever known. Beautiful. And many people, I always give credit to him. The reason why I'm online is because of Dr. Blair. So big up to Dr. Blair. And Rod Hayes
But
met him at 13. That's a pinnacle age too,
and
Rod.
I did not know I did not know that that's who that was until I started studying his videos.
That's wild. That's, I almost feel like energetically that's an imprint. It's like an imprint.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? 13 is a powerful number. It's an age where you could be imprinted and his presence had an impact on you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was staying with my sister at the time, my second to the oldest sister.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
So
wild.
this is the Chlorine. The Chlorine is the handbook for the KKK. And you
I
see
love
it's part of this set of literature right here,
Mhm.
classics.
Yeah.
It's part of classic literature because it falls under Masonic literature.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's under their order.
Right. It's because the KKK is the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, which is the quintessential Knights of the Round Table.
Mm, that's the
Right.
Templars. Templars. So they're Templars or connected to the Templars, right?
Right. Then if you go back and look at the patch that a lot of the Brotherhood of Spain have,
Mm-hmm.
it's the Templars circle cross.
Yes, yes. All these motherfuckers are interrelated by
Yeah.
by just interaction, bloodline, brotherhood.
Now you have some that follow the rose in the cross. Those Rosicrucians.
Rosicrucians, yes, yes. Emma talks about
And
that.
and they'll have a KKK uniform and they'll have a crown with a cross hanging out of it. And
Hmm.
on the center of the cross will be a rose.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
That's all it is, they symbols. They're telling you where to look.
what's interesting about that because in the movie The Purge, I don't know if you
Hmm.
remember, it's the one where they were taking over the United States, like the Purge just went off time frame and were like, screw it, we going full Monty. Like they were just killing everybody. And they had the reversed immigration. So people had come from Mexico, they got acclimated, but then they were finding their way out. But the one safety image that they had, which I find is interesting because I feel connected to is the rose. And that's how you know it was a safe haven. They would have that rose on a building and they knew it was safe for those people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But remember, you can't hold the rose unless you can handle the thorns.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes the thorns aren't worth it.
Now, this is a circle 7 of the Moorish Saints Temple. See
Yeah,
how similar
very much so.
chlorine and Korean spelling is?
Hmm. That's wild.
I bet you can't tell me where the L from chlorine went.
The 7 upside down.
Yeah, there you go.
What? This is, I almost feel like it's very important for all children. In the future, I will plan to they need to know symbology. They also need to know the different phonetics of different words, breaches of languages, because a lot of times these things are straight in your face. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you will never see it. They don't really hide it,
No,
Rod. I don't think
this,
they hide it.
the reason Noble Drew Ali put this out is to make us find the other document,
Mm, like
right?
a
But
breadcrumb.
this right here got so many tribal codes in it that it just amazes me that when I'm reading it, it's like electrocuting my
You
whole
got,
body.
you got the book, Rod? You got the
I
book?
actually do, but it's packed down. But I got it.
No. So you
I
got the
got
book.
I got all my Moorish literature.
You know what? I probably, I get a little, I'm a little impatient. I used to sit down and read a long time ago when I had more time, but I really would like to sit and really read this. I'm gonna see if I can because I think is the language very legible or is it very coded?
Um, it's legible, but it's going to be like if you can read on the sixth grade level, which I'm sure you can, it flows according to that age group.
Ah,
Like he was writing
interesting.
something, like he was writing something to teach the
Children.
middle school.
So it's a little remedial in the kind of way that
No,
they can.
that's the way it's supposed to come across, but it's really complex because
Okay.
it's loaded with codes,
Okay.
but you have to be activated to see them.
Okay. Okay. Conscious and aware. Yeah, that awareness to decode, like the people who were able to decode the Epstein files with the unlock all the hidden language and the hidden things that were hidden. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah. Rod sent this and we were on a blast. I was like, what?
Do
Could you
y'all be
imagine?
recording those, FleurBrun?
Yo, no, because if we did, we get in trouble. Listen, we got husbands, children, like we're wild. We're like the aunties. You know when those aunties that they don't let you go to people, you got to be told to behave yourself because you'll scare the children. Like we
Yeah.
got them aunties. Like we the aunties that occasionally get invited to family functions. We got nightgowns, hair up. We doing the investigations. 4 a.m. is when we get spiked. If I recorded it, I'd have to leave the planet. Out the chain, I'd be texting Rod, like, Rod, what is this? Thank you, Rod, for being understanding. Because I mean, it's at least you understand. Like we're on like a fire, like we're in the foxhole and we going far and we need like that piece, and you give it to us, and we're like, woo!
You get to see stuff from a different perspective too.
The lights are blinking. It's crazy. It's crazy all the supernatural things that are happening. Ever since my mom transitioned in July, like all these, like she opened up the portal. It's crazy. I like I have no, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'll talk about it another time. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Right.
So Rod, I got you here for so long. What should we do? Should we keep going or should we get the people? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? We're like
Uh,
we're cooking. We got on the heat. We got in the heat, I can stir. Okay, I can stir. Or should we get people to come in and give a little season or ask a couple questions about our ingredients? What do you want?
let's do another 30 minutes Q&A.
Okay, okay. Yay! Y'all, fire in the yard, fire in the yard. Okay. I know I'm corny. Guys, you don't have to tell me when I'm corny. They'll write a whole thing like, FleurBrun, just shut up. Like, who are you talking to? You wouldn't say it to my face. You know what I'm saying? They be talking on the thing all reckless. I was like, you wouldn't say it to my face.
Now, I came from the era where if you can't say it to somebody's face, you don't say it.
Word. I'm on time, on point. Like you say it to my face, it's on and popping. I was like, don't
I'm not gonna say nothing behind somebody's back. I'm not gonna say in their face.
on. Yeah, they be saying crazy things. The little crazy people writing crazy things to you, thinking that you won't pop up. Boy, if you knew me 10 years ago, I'd do a pop up. Like all the crazy alien ladies here. Okay, hold on. Let me get focused, y'all. Let me give the y'all. Okay, please. I'm opening up for questions. Please be respectful of our time. Rod is here. He is giving us his time. Please be respectful and ask one question, please. And no disrespect. Please don't share. You can always email Rod or talk to him, but this is about a question, like a Q&A. Ask one question, please, and please just leave it at that so we can get to a couple people. Okay? I think that was appropriate, right? I wasn't too mean, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. We don't want to hear, and it's nothing wrong with it, but this is not the platform. You were on for a long time. Be
That's okay.
respectful.
Yeah, that's okay. We got it. I think you made your point.
Okay, hold on. Every time I do this, hold on. I'm going to share the link and you can come in and ask a question. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, and Delmarche, would you mind can you remember Rod's Cash App and his PayPal in it, please? I forgot to put it in it. Thank you, my love. Okay, I'm gonna give this to my Zombies first. Zombies, get ready. I'm activating it. Zoomies, I hope you're ready to ask a question. Okay. There we go. All right. Check on in when you come in. Let me put the room up so we can have, I gotta close the room a little bit so we can have I can open it up to them. There we go. Oh. Zoomies, come on in.
I'm gonna send you a song, FleurBrun. The next video, next time we do something, we're gonna go over this song and break down the lyrics to determine the validity of them.
What is the good stuff? Is it Motown? What is it? The crazy name?
The name of the song is Black Madonna.
Is that the one you sent me? You sent me a song, the Black
Yeah,
Madonna.
I probably did, because as soon as I heard it,
You
I sent
did.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to do that. Okay, next time. Hold on. Let me get hello. Is anybody there? Anybody out there? Hello. Hold on. Let me put it in the chat. Hold on, Rod. I'm a little slow. Oh, here they go. Okay. They're coming. Hold on. Let me place it in Rod, would you mind sending me your PayPal again if you don't mind? I'm sorry. Thank you, Delmache. I appreciate it. Okay. Hold on, Rod. Okay. Anybody else? We have any Zombies coming in? Questions? You don't have to cam up. We're gonna be on late night too. Thank you, Rod. Okay. Let me put this in as well. Okay. We've got Aqua. Come on in, Aqua. What's over there? What do you eat? Don't eat the stuff on the side cookie. Hey, Aqua. Hey, Mama Cakes.
Hey, blissful, beautiful Fleur. Keeping with the chief Rod.
Hey, Aqua, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing so much better. So much better. You know, I always have a question because it always comes in my mind. Okay. So, and I'm gonna stick with one because you know I have several, but I'm gonna stick with one. So, my dad, he is bow-legged. And back in the day, you know how you used to see so many bow-legged people like in the 70s and 80s, but you don't see them no more now. So what is the thing with bow-legged? Like are there different species or were they being, you
That's
know?
that's a trait from one of the tribes. It actually came from a tribe that was horseback riders. Is what made their legs bow in the first place. And
Mm-hmm.
then it became a genetic trait after years of it. So they started giving birth to both. My little brother used to be bow-legged. Like he put his feet together and you could throw a softball between his knees when he was a
I
baby.
think it's I think it's a handsome quality. I don't know. I think it's some people like, oh, it's weird. I think it's a handsome quality. It's a very
Yeah.
appealing
Those,
quality.
those are the tribes that rode horses.
Uh-huh.
They keep telling us that the Spanish brought horses over here, right?
No.
But the Apache was master horseback riders.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Right.
They say the Apache had been riding horses in the BC period, but they killed off all the horses. How they still know how to ride?
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
You're
'Cause
right.
you don't see like a lot of people bow-legged anymore. Like you really don't.
No.
Because a lot of the hospitals straighten the baby's
Yeah,
legs
they
out.
do. They break them and reset them. Yeah. Which is abuse too. It's unnecessary
Yeah.
because they'll usually set themselves at a certain age. They kind of go into with puberty, the body reconfigures itself. The body's masterful. It looks a little odd when they're little, but children are very,
It's
they're really
actually cute
fun.
on babies, but
Yeah,
but when you get to be a grown ass man, it kind of look funny.
I'm saying so. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the
Yes.
number one reason because most of the hospitals correct it early
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that the babies don't be bow legged.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
thank
I'm I'm
you.
gonna respect that one question. So
Thank you,
Okay.
Aqua.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Don't you exit yourself out and then I'll What
Yes.
happened to our other person? Okay, thank you. And I'm gonna just put this in the chat because I don't think we have enough people from, okay. Anyone from YouTube land? Got Aqua, beautiful Aqua. Come on in. We don't bite. Come on in. I think they're coming in. I shared it with the other link. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Hello. Gosh. Sometimes, well, no, I think they're gonna click it. I think I put it in a little late. Everyone, please be grateful and thankful to Rod Hayes for coming and sharing his amazing information and knowledge with us. Yeah, you always blow my mind. Like, I'm a geek, so I always like new information and no one gives it to me. So like Dr. Blair used to flip me out all the time. Like he'd like have a new book and I was like, oh my God, like, because I'm really geeky. He was like, you're really excited. I'm like, yeah, I don't really hide it though. You know what I mean? If I learn something new, I want to know it fully, Oh, we've got company. Yes. Okay. Hold on. We got KO. Come in and KO. Come in and KO. Check on it. Hi, KO. You just got to click your microphone thing at the bottom. KO? It may just be the mic. Sometimes I don't know. It's like a little audio button on the bottom left. You just click on that so we can hear you. It'll take you off mute. KO. Can you see it? No, I don't think they can. KO, no. Okay, KO, I'm just gonna put you back in queue and then see if you can figure that out and I'll bring you back in. I'm sorry about that, okay? So, sorry, KO. I'm gonna, okay. Oh, wait, let me put you back in the waiting room. Sorry. All right. Okay. Come on in, Emperor Rex. Emperor Rex is coming in. Rex is a powerful name. That X on names is like an amplifier.
I mean, Royal.
Ah,
Good day,
hey.
all.
Hi, Emperor.
Peace, my
Good day.
brother.
I want to thank you for all you've done. This is my first call in, and it's only primarily because you touched upon a subject pertaining to rights, titles, and interests. And I have a particular issue in New York, and I need a New York lawyer that'll sue the government, the state of New York, for the enforcement of the beneficial rights, claiming da 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 da.
Okay, so just to give you some foresight, almost all these judges and lawyers about to go to jail. So when we reboot our tribal government, we're gonna have what's called a redemption center, and it's probably gonna be ran out of something like Small Business Administration. And if you have a paper trail, you'll be expedited versus the people who they got to do genealogy for to find who they people were. Some of us got ongoing records of fighting these people in court. Like we just seen earlier in the show, Chief Warhorse, when she was going over the treaties and whatnot, that the ongoing litigation been going on since the 1800s, right? So now they being forced to recognize her, whether they want to or not, as one of the landholders with original jurisdiction and original birthright. So they'll have the tribal mothers is the ones who's going to be reclaiming the land, but all of the birthrights, the family members is going to be identified, and the ones who have the paper trail is going to be the easiest ones to assist. So they're going to get taken care of first. Where other people, you still got to do trace their ancestry back, find out when they got switched out on the Trail of Tears and all that shit. And that's going to be a headache because they deliberately changed in the classifications and standards along the way in order to make it as difficult as possible for us to put it together. But the government been following most of us the whole time anyway, trying to determine which one of us was going to be audacious enough to reclaim our territory because they knew that they only had a limited time. But we will have a process in place where you would be able to execute that claim, especially being that you got a paperwork. Because if you're trying to sue them, you have to have something to show your legitimate standing in the lawsuit, or a lawyer won't take the case anyway. So
Correct.
I'm assuming that you have paperwork to prove your point, and just by you having it, it's going to make it easier to determine what's your birthright.
Cool. I want to thank you. Thank you for all you're doing. And thank you for the podcast. And y'all have a good evening. And I
Thank
thank
you, Rod. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Peace.
Peace. So this is good to know that there'll be some remedy for anything that's going on with people that are kind of waiting idle while there's some rectification for reactivation of like reinstitution of your rights as an indigenous, I don't want to even say indigenous, right? As an Aboriginal? No, not Aboriginal.
It
What
can
would
be
be
Aboriginal or Indigenous.
Mhm.
I use the term organic.
Organic? Yes, that's better. I think so.
We organic to the land. We natural to the land.
Mhm. Absolutely. There's a Dell. There's another Dell. I'm a Dell. Who's Dell? Hey, Dell. That Dell Mache? Is that another Dell? There's a Dell. Young Dell too. Like Dell. Hey, Dell. Can you hear us? Dell, can you hear us? I think he could see us. Can he see us, Dell? That's so wild. His name is Dell, and that's my name. That's crazy. Hey, Dell. Can you talk? Can you hear us? You can hear us, okay? Turn your volume up, Dell. I can't hear you. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. Why?
He ain't on mute either.
No, there's something with the speakers. See, we could see you. We can't hear you though, Del. Can you do something with the speaker? Something. Maybe you have it plugged into like headphones, maybe? That's wild. I don't know. I can't hear you.
He probably didn't give his microphone permission if it's his first time getting
Oh,
in.
yeah, maybe that's it. I know you have something to say. If you knew sign language, I don't know it, but telepathically we can contact each other next time and like use our telepathic messages to like communicate. You know what I mean? Oh, he's gonna put it on. Come on, we patient. Come on, put put the headphones on. Maybe it'll work. It may be something because I know sometimes when you come on and you haven't used it, it's like permission for something.
I think that's what it is because he ain't on mute.
No, he's not. All right, Del. Del, guess what? I'm just gonna put you back in the queue. Figure out what it is in your mic and and I'm gonna bring you back in, okay? Unless you want to send telepathic messages, and then we'll take those as well. Okay. All right. See you later, Del. Okay, let me put you back in the queue. All right, let's go. You're in the waiting room. Okay, let's go to Diana Marie. I love that. It's a very French name. Ah, Diana Marie. Let's see. Hello. Is it Diana? I love that name.
Yes,
Can you
let
put
me
your back in?
mute. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes.
Hi.
Hi, Diana.
Oh my gosh, I'm on here with you guys. Um, Let me see something. Where did I go? There we go. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh my gosh. I was like shaking because I've been wanting to get on to speak with you, brother Rod and Fleur. I've been following you forever. I probably have people watching right now that's gonna be like, oh, you were on. But I had a few questions, but the first one that really came to my mind has been weighing on me. It was a dream. And in the dream, I woke up and my mother was in the dream. I saw my mother. She's living. and one of her first cousins on her father's side. And they brought me to this forest. And in the forest, there was this huge clearing, and there was like all these women. I don't know who these women were. I've never seen any of them before, but there were all these women, and they were working together to lift up this tree, this huge tree, as big as a sequoia. And they picked it up and put it back, like it had broken at the base, like you could see the stump had been broken. And they picked it up and they put it back on. And next thing I knew, we were inside. And we were walking through, and there was an older woman, and she was like giving me this tour. And it was beautiful inside, just all wood. There were these staircases, and we went up the staircase, and she showed me around this office space. And then we continued going up, and then next thing I know, we were in a kitchen. And all these women, we were all just standing just around cooking, prepping, and just chatting. And I just woke up. Like next thing I know, I just woke up out of the dream. And I want to say this was before Thanksgiving, a few days before Thanksgiving. And my grandmother, who transitioned, her younger sister lives 10 minutes from me. She called me a couple days before Christmas. What are you doing? Nothing, nothing. She calls me over, and we're sitting down and we're talking, and she's just sharing so many things that she had and so many stories of growing up in Louisiana. And I brought up my grandmother, and I said to her, have you gotten any messages from her? Do you know? And she says she's in the trees. And it didn't like dawn on me until this evening, the dream with the tree. But I still haven't been able to really connect the dots as to why I was shown this, because it's not the first time that I've had what appears to be ancestors that have come forward and have presented things to me as offerings. So I just wanted to know what interpretations you may have gotten from this.
Okay, now look at it from your ancestors throughout your history need you to do something.
Okay.
They don't know how to get the message to you in a form that you can digest. So they give you what's called the exaggeration in the dream.
Okay.
Right? So when you get the dream, you recognize the feel of the ancestors, even if you don't recognize them individually. Right? So you describing the bloodline, the family tree. Daughters of Isis is what we're talking about. All of the women being the nations of the earth. Putting the tree back together is restoring the bloodlines, the family tree.
Okay.
Which is represented as the grand matriarch, which is seen in the movie Avatar as Iwas. So we was just talking about that, right? Which we know to be the tree that's now known as the Devil's Tower in Arizona, where they chopped down the great mother tree. You see the symbolism to remind you of what was done, and you being aware that it means something, it sticks out enough where you can't forget it when you wake up. Right.
Yeah,
so the dream be extra vivid. It'd be more real than real. Right. How is that possible?
Right.
Because you're drawing from the source of the truth. And the reality is shaded with falsehood. So the dream realm becomes more real in sensation than the real 3D world that you wake up to. Right? So you telling the story of the daughters reassembling the great mother tree, which is the original bloodline of the earth, which is the first mothers.
Okay.
It's referred to in ancient times as the first mothers. In modern times, they call them the ancients of days, the oldest ones. Right? the ones who preceded the Titans. The what's the word they call them? The ones that come from the chaos,
Okay.
the great energy developers from the chaos, known as the Dark Mothers, the Black Madonnas, right? Madonna means mother of the young lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they pass it on to us as code in the tribal memory or in the ancestral memory. Well, we call it the Akashic records in modern times.
Mm-hmm.
But the women have in the mitochondria have open access when they develop their balance, emotional and intellectual balance. So she's able to control herself so that she can revisit what was done in order to clearly see how to undo it. So you working on your family's bloodline, restoring the dignity of your grandmother that you speak of, that was represented to you as your mission statement in dream form.
Wow.
So you're the sister that draw the sisters together, which also consists of your cousins, nieces, aunties, and all of the ones that y'all can understand the bond of the family and respect for the love. And reciprocity opens the bandwidth. Gratitude amplifies it,
Okay.
right? So when you rebuild in the family, it ain't about what you did, it's about what we about to do.
Okay.
We got to get over the past to walk into the future. Otherwise, you carrying dead weight
That's so
because
true.
we already used the past up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it ain't here right now. And
Right.
we build in the future. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why it ain't here right now.
Thanks.
And we in the perpetual now,
Mm-hmm.
burning up yesterday to build tomorrow. And the importance of knowing history is once you see what was, you know what's to come. It's just upside down and backwards, just flipped on the mirror. Because we was in the upside down, now we in the right side up.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for your time. I've
Thank
been waiting to speak to you. Thank you,
Aw.
Fleur, for giving me this opportunity. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate you. So
Mama.
much gratitude.
And I wish you the best in building your beautiful matriarch bag.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys have a great night.
Peace, Star.
Peace.
Oh, she's so beautiful. I love it. Oh, it's coming back, Rod. It's coming. It's so beautiful. And oh, I love
She
it.
like she been waiting on the understanding so she could fight the fight.
That's right. She's prepared. Okay, so let's see if let's try to bring Dell back in here because I told Dell we're gonna bring him back in. Come on. I'm about the resurrection. Come on. Hey, Dell.
Okay,
It's coming. It's so beautiful.
can you hear me now?
Yes. Just
Oh, you can?
turn down your computer though, so we don't get the backdrop.
Okay. Okay, so you can hear me.
Yep.
Peace, my
Okay.
brother.
Peace, brother. I've been watching you for some years now. Both of y'all for over 5 years back in 2015. So yes, that's quite a bit of time there. Pretty much since I've been driving transportation. So yeah, y'all have kept me
Company.
rolling. Yes, most definitely. I have a question for you though. I've spoken to Brother Minister Wesley Muhammad lately, and I've studied a lot of his books and information on the UFOs and things of that nature, and on the different looks of the UFOs and things and how they trying to throw us off with certain type of aspects of them. But one that's keep catching me. I watch young elder stuff as well, and it's the Nordics. They're like the pale ones with blue eyes and blonde hair. Now I've seen a UFO vehicle myself in Michigan, right above some trees and down in the gully. I guess they wanted me to come down there, but I didn't go. I was like, no, nobody may not see me no more. It looked like Buck Rogers ship. It didn't look like no oval one type, and it had no noise to it or nothing like that. But and it had blue light in the back of it. That's the thing. It had the light blue light in the back of it. You couldn't hear it or nothing of that nature. But as soon as I said, okay, I'm gonna go down and see, it started moving away. Nobody else was on the street at the time. That's what blew me up. Because I stepped out the car in the middle of the street. No other cars was around, man. Then I went down to the gas station. I said, y'all see the spaceship? They said, what you talking about? Nobody else saw it. So it kind of tripped me out.
Well, can I add something to that just a little bit? Sometimes if you are perceiving or witnessing what you perceive to be a UFO, sometimes they already have abstracted you or placed you in a different kind of holographic field to observe you. And it gives you the illusion that you're in the same place. But it sounds like the fact that there were no cars coming and you were on a main road, it sounds like you might have already been kind of extracted a little bit for observation. And that's why you didn't see anyone, because they already extracted you. So when you saw it, sometimes it's a blink of an eye. Sometimes it's a differential in time too, like maybe an hour difference, couple minutes, they get better depending on the group. But it sounds like you might have had some contact that I could be wrong, but it sounds like the lack of anyone around or anyone witnessing it makes me think that they literally kind of like either isolated you, holographically changed your environment for some reason or another.
Okay, I never thought of it like that. I told my minister that, and he said, yes, a lot of believers have been spotting the UFOs, and I've seen them all my life. I've had other contacts with them and stuff of that nature. I mean, real close, poking me in my butt, and stuff like that. I kind of cussed them out because after you start studying more and more after those type of incidents, you kind of know what they're trying to do and things of that nature. But that's not.
If they do anything physical like that, anything that's violating your body that may be governmental, that's cloaking itself as a UFO. Sometimes governmental, we can't differential a lot of times because our perception or awareness doesn't allow that. So
the
if
government
anyone is,
also have the same similar technology they got from them.
yeah. So it could be the governmental, like anything that's violating your body isn't something, things that are outside of our spectrum don't have a necessity for that, not in a way that you would remember and have that awareness. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, now I've also had one when I was in Maine where I was an inner vision. I've did some studies, so I'm getting better understanding of the things. But I could see the inside of my head, and they were showing me the skin on my head, far as from some chemicals in my head. And it's like, you need to stop doing. I ain't gonna say what I was doing, but it was like, you need to stop doing such and such because it's giving you a coat on your brain skull. So, which I have stopped since then, but that's another experience I had with them, far as been taken. But anyway, that's none of that. It's just I'm more aware of those type of things. My question
but
is
you're going somewhere with the question though.
Yes, is because I don't know if it's government or some of these things I know are people.
Just ask the question. Let's see where you go.
Okay, the Normans, the Nordics, they blonde blue eyes and hair. I'm thinking those to be the Hitler superhuman beings they did down there in the South Antarctica area down there.
So remember, most of the stuff dealing with Hitler is deliberate and willful misinformation.
Okay.
Now, not to say that he wasn't in contact with beings.
Okay.
But he was actually trying to clone Akhenaten in the Boys of Brazil program. But they told us he was cloning himself.
Okay.
The Boys from Brazil program produced 50 male children off the DNA of Akhenaten. Right?
Okay.
Because the next one in line to rule was Tutankhamun. They didn't want him to rule because they abused him as a child. And they feared his retribution on behalf of the children that they abused. We know the reincarnation of Tut as Tupac. He was sent to wake us up to the fact that the children was being abused. And that's why a lot of his music deal with different types of abuse. but
You
it
said
also
King Tut?
deals with, yeah.
Mm,
Now, the belief of the Thule Society, who Hitler got this information from, was that if they can resurrect Akhenaten, that they will be able to program him to do their bidding and pull rank on Tutankhamun.
okay.
So they was trying to stop the transition from the old guard to the new guard by recycling the old guard.
Okay.
Now, this creates something called higher intervention, right? So then they bring in Judge Dredd, Thanos, only care about balance. I'll blow this MF up before I let y'all destroy it. I
Okay.
destroy half of y'all to save the rest of y'all, right? The mentality of
Mm,
Judge Dredd, the dreaded judge,
yes.
comes in,
Mm,
but it got to be done with justice.
Mm.
It can't be done with vengeance,
okay.
right? So then when you realize that everybody done did everybody wrong, how do you rectify it now? Because ain't nobody in the right. So now you say the old guard can't stand because you even had the good people doing bad deeds trying to do good.
Mhm.
You put snares and traps in all of their paths,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So when you unravel it, you have to unravel it in the form where you can see exactly what they're doing. The ones they called the Nordics came to give a drop of blood to the Great Debauchery, which was a genetic waste spill. They became Flugerides on Earth and dwelled in the cave among the Canaanites, which was the Albion species that was being manipulated genetically as Yakub's grafted devil,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right? And so the Flugerides went in to try to help the genetic defects correct. But they also was mixed in with the Deros, the fat people
Mhm.
that came from another family to
Oh, with the
bring
nose.
to bring their royal DNA, and they come with high intelligence, extremely high
Mhm.
intelligence, to contribute to the defect. The defect was a calcium deposit that would develop in the ventricle of the spine that blocks the rise of the sacred secretion. The remedy was, as it is written in the Sumerian tablets, is for all of the gods to give a drop of the royal blood in order to cure the defects. So this is where we get our one drop doctrine over here,
Mm.
right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
was the last ones to give our drop of blood because we wasn't going to participate and we was going to let them suffer their own consequences unless we had the opportunity to win in the end. It's the only way we was going to participate. So they forced us to participate through war. The first thing they did was gave fuck rights to the plantation supervisors, fornication under consent of the king. The king
Mm-hmm.
authorized them to rape the women for 4 generations in
Yeah.
order to lighten up the skin. Then they passed it off as eugenics,
Mhm.
ethnic cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually correcting the genetic defects. And this is why you see the caduceus everywhere, because we was been trying to remember what we was doing. The caduceus represents the DNA helix around the post. We was trying to straighten out the genetic defect. So
Okay.
because we was the strongest of the earthborn, we was able to suffer the last and longest part of the struggle because we was the only one strong enough to do it. So now we come back, the ancient ones return to reclaim everything and restore the balance back, bring heaven back to earth so we can get rid of this hell that we got in these kids. So this is why you see all those different species. Dwarfism come from the Dwani, what they call them in Star Trek, the Wookiees.
The
the
Wookiees.
Ewoks, the
Ewoks,
Ewoks,
the Ewoks, the little guys.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the
Mhm.
Bigfoots was the Wookiees. Those were the Gigantopithecus.
Mm.
They kind of look like orangutans. They call them Bigfoots now.
Yep.
They hard to catch because they can hear you thinking before you get there, and your mental
Mhm.
chatter is disturbing to the higher beings.
I've met one. I've met one of those over there going to Seattle in a truck. I thought I was tripping because I was got out the truck to use the restroom in the middle of the forest and tall trees, and I got out and I was using the restroom. And I seen something on the side of the tree like this. I'm like, what the heck
You
is that?
fading up.
Yeah,
I
it's
just look at
very-
this. You do like
I think
this.
that's our cue to
They-
wrap this up.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what
oh,
they.
oh,
That's
no.
that's the Bigfoot saying you ain't gonna share our stories. Well, thank you, Del. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Peace.
Bye. Peace.
Oh, it's good. Another contactee. Surfaces. Yes. Hold on. I can't. How come I can't? Okay. There we go. I think one more, Rod. One more is good. Then that's it.
Okay, we'll do one more.
Let me do eating, money, mo, catch it. Remember that? Eating, money, mo, catch it with a fire toe. If you follow, okay, let me, let's do Renee. Let's do a C star. Okay. Come in, Renee. Come in, Renee. Hi, Renee. Can you hear us? Renee? Renee? No, yes? Hold on, Renee. Okay, Renee, I'm gonna have to put you back in the queue because we're gonna take on another one real quick.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Are you
there
able
you
to
go.
hear me now?
There you go. There you go, Renee. There
Hi.
you go. Sorry about that.
Okay, I wanted to ask Rod a question. I got to put the TV on pause. I wanted to ask about people that are stuck in multi dimensions. Like if someone is here on Earth and they see like the little people, they see tall people, they see different people, and they see people that nobody else can see. Does that make any sense what I'm asking you?
Yeah, because some people that are spiritually gifted can see a broader light spectrum than the rest of us.
Okay, but he does not know. It's literally, this is my brother-in-law, and it's literally driving him crazy because they can't communicate with him, and because they're communicating evidently telepathically like we used to, and he can't communicate, and it's he what it is. So he doesn't understand any of this. And I've explained to him that it's interdimensionally, that they've put him in, psych wards overnight, giving him all kinds of drugs and stuff. And the doctors keep telling him that nothing's wrong with him. Now they're telling him that. At first, people thought he was out of his mind, but I told him he's not out of his mind. He's seeing into these dimensions of these beings that we understand it from other places. So a person like that, I don't want to take up a lot of time, and maybe I could give you my number, Rod, and we could talk about it later. But it's literally making him crazy because he cannot communicate with these people, and now they're seeing something on his face that has appeared on his face, and he doesn't know what it is, and they're not able to communicate and tell him what it is. But now they're seeing this. Some of the dimensionally people are seeing this on his face, and it's not there where we can see it physically, but they see it and they're afraid of him. So, and now they're like appearing in a lot of different places. So I don't know. I know you would be able to explain to him and possibly how he would be able to get back out of these other dimensions.
Okay, so first of all, he's seeing the broader light spectrum, but he's
Okay.
not. His audio doesn't sync with that. He's still hearing in the auditory range of regular people,
Uh-huh.
right? Because when your bandwidth gets so broad, this is where you see fairies and gnomes and shit,
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
right?
Seeing
Yeah,
if I could
so
get him to
they
listen.
hear all the time. Like we don't see them because our light spectrum is too narrow.
Okay.
His spiritual gift is what's called optic perception, ability to see
Listen to this.
clairvoyantly into a broader light spectrum.
Okay, say that again, Rod. I got him where he's listening. It's another phone here and he's listening to you. Clarence,
Okay.
this is about what you're seeing. Listen to Rod.
So when you look at the scale of waves of light, we see less than 1% of the light spectrum. It's all kind of things that's outside of our regular people's purvey of view. We can't see it, but it's there. When your spiritual gift broadens your bandwidth on, you might see 2 or 3% of the light spectrum, and now you seeing fairies, gnomes, water sprites, fire sprites, spirit of the tree stepping out the tree. You seeing all of that because you seeing in a broader light spectrum. We don't see the same thing in 3D because that's not everybody's spiritual gift. It's tied to clairvoyance.
Well, there is a difference between a lot of things I've heard people say over the years. Old grandparents and uncles and people who've had issues like this. They saw things and saw this, and they woke up and saw that. Mine goes a lot deeper. It's been with me for 5 straight years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every month, not a miss. It is the same as if you were, if it's the same thing as if you were just born and you're just starting to live your life. And every day you see something a little different, but the same thing goes on. You drink every day, you drink liquids every day, and you move on, and you try something different every day. Every day something. This is the same thing as like a newborn. Well, brand new day.
I can't really hear him.
Going away.
Okay,
I can't explain it.
he said it's like a brand new, he couldn't really hear you, Clarence. He said it's like a brand new day he sees. Okay, Clarence, I've got to explain it to him in the way that I know that you've explained it to me through the years. Okay, he sees little people like very specifically. And then he sees, Clarence, what else do you see besides the little people?
I see everything that you see here. Always, you got little people, big people, medium-sized people. You've got not that many that's just tremendously overweight, but just people as we know them. A lot of people from Africa.
All kind of people.
Okay, people, yeah. Okay.
Can you hear him, Rod?
Yeah, let
Yeah.
Rod is gonna respond and then
So
Okay,
he
go on.
said that he don't just see little people, he see all sizes of people, but he know that they not in the physical form.
Right. He knows they're not in the physical form. Yes, correct.
Well,
Now,
Hold on.
they seem like the same thing that we have here.
They seem the
yeah,
same as us.
yeah,
As
yeah.
us.
That's because he's looking at a broader light spectrum.
Uh-huh.
He's seeing stuff that most people have. He's psychic, but he don't know it yet.
Did you hear that,
Just the easiest,
Clarence?
just the easiest way to put it. He's psychic, but he don't understand the gift yet. So
You don't
therefore, he
understand the
can't
gift.
use it. He
So
can
you
only
can't use it.
experience it.
You can only experience it. It's a gift, Clarence. And we understand that, well, see, and he says it tortures him daily because he doesn't even sleep most of the time because these people are all around him. Like he was here one day and he said, he told his daughter, let's go because it's like more and more people. It's like hundreds of people outside the house. He walks in, he can see my grandfather. He literally sees he walks in and he says,
Sound like
you know,
you
who's that guy?
looking right
Huh?
into the ancestral realm.
yeah. Yeah.
So you guys,
So yeah, that's a psychic gift. And the reason why it torments him because it's trying to train him how to use it.
It's trying to train you how to use it, Clarence. That's why it's tormenting you. Hang on, Clarence. Rod, can I give you guys my number and we can talk about, because he needs to talk with you guys so that you can help him, because he says now it's literally driving him crazy. And
it is. It's way out there.
yeah, so if you guys could talk to him
Yeah.
outside, because I don't want to take up too
Can,
much of your
can,
time.
can she text you her number for you? Send it to me.
Yeah, can you I'm gonna give you my email and just send me your number. Don't send it on here.
Okay,
Star.
okay,
Hold on,
okay, Clarence.
I'm gonna put my email
Okay,
in
hang on.
here.
They're
Okay.
going to give me their contact
And,
information,
and I'm
Clarence.
gonna
I'll talk to
take,
you later.
thank you, Renee. I'm gonna put you in the queue and I'm gonna send that to you. Just send me your number in the email. Okay?
Okay, you're putting the email in the chat.
In the chat for you. Yes, I'll put it
Okay.
now. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank
I've been
you.
watching you both for years and years. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you. I wish
Okay.
him well. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys will be able to help him. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. It sounds like he's tapped in. The veil is really open and he's not able to control the flow. And once other beings know that you can see them, sometimes they come in groups. It's almost like being
Remember
clairvoyant.
the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg?
Yep, exactly.
Once they
Exactly.
found out that she could see Patrick Swayze, they came out the woodworks.
Everybody comes. Yeah. It's the same when my mom passed away. It's like if
See,
you
but
open that, yeah, you're like a
so
light.
so the psychic gifts, when they come to you, you have to study it. It's the only thing you can do is try to figure out, why are you experiencing this? What is this experiencing? But most people don't know the self-talk. So they can't walk themselves through the learning curve of figuring out, oh, this is a psychic ability, and let me go find out how other people who had similar psychic abilities adapted, dealt with, controlled, focused. So they got other people write about this stuff. This is why we was told to write things down when we used to just pass the information telepathically.
Absolutely.
Because we had to go through the Kali Yuga under the light lock in order to close out the end of it.
Yeah. And this training that goes along with that, grounding yourself, using certain types of modalities to help to create a barrier so that's not constantly overwhelming you, too much interface. It sounds like it's just something he hasn't been able to harness because he doesn't have the tools. Yeah, he needs the tools.
Once you study it, the more you begin to understand it, the more control you have over it.
Absolutely.
The more control you have over it, the less tormenting it is. But when you don't know that you're psychic and you experience something weird and nobody can relate to you, and you don't know what to study to find the problem because you thinking it's mental.
Yeah.
It's not mental. There's nothing wrong with you mentally.
Yeah. It's good that he has Renee though, because Renee can actually, she understands that it's something else. That's wonderful. Just to have someone who understands that, okay, I know you're going through this. There's people I know that probably can help you a little bit. So it's kind of like that. So, all right, y'all. It's been, I don't want to hold Rod. I hold him on too long. Thank you, Rod Hayes, for coming on again. Amazing, cooking, baking, getting that cauldron, swerving. Thank you again for coming on. Everyone, please thank Rod Hayes again for coming on, just illuminating us, blowing our spectrum of mind, and raising our scholarship. I mean, this is amazing. And it's a really magical time. So thank you, Rod Hayes. Anything you want to tell anyone where to find you? I think they all know where to find you at this point.
Tomorrow I'll be in BDL to be doing something tomorrow.
Okay.
On his channel. And then Sunday, me and Empress will be telling y'all, be bringing y'all some really interesting receipts.
That's going to be fantastic. So y'all check on in and tune on in, all right? So thank you, Rod Hayes, for coming in. Thank you, YouTube, again, for showing up and showing out. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace. Okay. Peace out. Hold on.